There's an old adage that says the only constant is change. And what a great example. Here in Canada, the leaves are starting to turn and the buzzwords at Land Rover are entirely new. Hi, I'm Sally Eastwood. I'm here in Montebello, Quebec for Land Rover University's Aventure Nordique. Our retail personnel are here to learn all about the new LR3, and they really like what they see. LR3 is the newest Land Rover and it's causing quite a stir. The automotive press has seen it. Their reports are extremely positive. Our retailers are confident LR3 will broaden the Land Rover family of owners. How we launched LR3 is our feature story as we travel from Scotland to Canada. But that's not all that's going on in the world of Land Rover. Range Rover was the star this summer at 6 special events around the country. Once again, the highly successful Range Rover experience offered a unique way to take a taste of the Range Rover lifestyle. We have a new home for the Land Rover driving school. The Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina is a great fit for us. It was constructed by George Vanderbilt and carries a very distinguished history, just like Land Rover. The hardy explorers of Drive Around the World have already logged many months and thousands of miles in the Longitude expedition. We'll join them in their certified pre-owned discoveries. Our retailers are preparing to re-energize the Land Rover way. Land Rover Kit is stronger than ever, and 3D Experience is gearing up for 2005. The excitement is building, so let's get started. The rollout of new Land Rover products in the 21st century is building momentum. In 2002, we introduced the new Range Rover at the Detroit Auto Show. In 2004 at Detroit, the Range Stormer concept vehicle debuted. And the momentum continued in 2004 with the launch of an entirely new Land Rover, the LR3. We chose the New York Auto Show in April for the worldwide debut to the press and public. Before the big event, a select group of international auto journalists attended a very special sneak preview at the Chelsea Art Museum in New York. Land Rover and Jaguar President and CEO Joe Greenwell opened the evening.
We'll introduce you to Jeff's latest creation, the all-new LR3.
Land Rover Managing Director Matthew Taylor took stage for the reveal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Land Rover LR3.
Jeff Upex, Land Rover Design Director, noted the unusual styling cues.
It's about bold, geometric, vertical and horizontal elements.
The next morning, the LR3 was unveiled to the world, and Matthew Taylor introduced the newest four-wheel drive technology, Terrain Response.
Like all Land Rover innovations, Terrain Response is smart technology. It's easy to use. Terrain Response automatically selects the most appropriate settings for the vehicle's advanced electronic controls and traction aids.
But the journalists had to wait a bit longer before their first test drive. We chose the rugged northern coast of Scotland. A charter flight from the Midlands brought our group to Wick, where the journey began at Ackergill Tower.
Today our drive will take us on pavement to some off-roading, back onto some pavement to Castle of May, where we will stop to have lunch. Castle of May is the Queen Mum's summer castle.
The route set by Dave Sneath and his UK-based Land Rover driving experience team covered all types of terrain to showcase the settings of the Terrain Response system. General program for pavement and smooth gravel, grass, gravel and snow, mud and ruts, and rock crawl. At the village of Tong, the journalists had a brief stop at the local hotel and time to reflect on the drive so far.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, we've gone through some hairy things that I would never think of in a million years of putting anything through. It's a piece of cake.
It's the Land Rover way to save the best piece of off-roading for last. Here it was sand dunes. With terrain response set to sand mode, the technology took over, providing gentle throttle tip, detuned traction control, deactivated hill descent control, as well as many more adjustments fine-tuned to the conditions. Of course, in July, the sun doesn't set in northern Scotland until close to midnight, so there was plenty of time to sample local hospitality and reflect on the experience.
The engineers here at Land Rover have done an incredible job of starting at the ground and working through the chassis and frame and especially the four-wheel drive system to create something that I think is going to make people look at it.
Fast forward to Canada, Montreal in September. Our retailers gathered for their first glimpse of the LR3, the vehicle destined to become the heart of the Land Rover lineup.
The theme of our meeting here today really does sum it up very well. Entirely new, entirely Land Rover.
The journey starts right here, right now, with the launch of the incredible new LR3.
It is the most advanced vehicle that we have ever built at Land Rover, and it truly befits a 21st century Land Rover product.
Improve your facilities, train your people, work on providing a world-class experience.
Everyone left the presentation upbeat and anxious to get in some off-roading. Conditions are perfect for putting the LR3s to the test. Anyone who lives in the eastern US and Canada knows that September is prime hurricane season. Once in a great while, a hurricane will reach Canada, and that's just what happened on the retailer's day to drive the LR3 at Land Rover's Montebello Driving School.
Great, the weather is perfect. This is Land Rover weather.
It was a day to remember for both drivers and our ACE team of instructors.
We're going to sell a lot of these things. Yeah.
Everything's a difference. The powertrain, the electronics, the reliability.
Just looking at them on the road, they look really good on the road.
This pavilion became a Noah's Ark, housing an impressive array of opportunities for the retail business. Land Rover Kit, the 3D experience, certified pre-owned program, and marketing opportunities. Once the weather cleared, the press arrived.
It's my pleasure to give you what I hope will be many welcomes to Montreal.
Canadian and US journalists met the LR3 in historic Windsor Station, where Jeff Upex and LR3 Chief Program Engineer Steve Haywood provided an overview.
This really is automotive orienteering at its best from Land Rover.
The next morning, Larry Rosinski, Communications Director, and Bob Burns, Chief Driving Instructor, put together a program packed with experiences designed to highlight the versatility of the LR3. It started with a drive from Montreal to Montebello, and then went to this impressive off-road course built by our driving instructors in the exclusive nature preserve called Canuck. Whether it's building courses for Trek, driving schools, or press, retailer and customer events, they always give it their best and manage to exceed expectations. Negotiating all types of terrain, how could the LR3 not impress?
It's both rough and tough and dignified and refined all at once.
When we said a day packed with experiences, we weren't kidding. We could add the word unique to this one, a special train ride back to Montreal. Time time to relax, enjoy a good meal and hum a few bars. Good fun for all and a great way to end a great day.
Get back to where you once belonged.
The change of seasons hailed the next phase of LR3's launch program. Land Rover University is legendary for product training, and this time training manager Randy Jennings and his staff conducted what many called the best ever introduction to a new product. They chose the Chateau Montebello in Quebec as their site and called it Aventure Nordique.
Oh, hi, I'm Randy Jennings, your host for your trip to Montebello.
Randy is known for the amount of detail he puts into his events. For the 1-hour bus ride from Ottawa Airport to Montebello, participants prepared for their experience with a special WLRU TV production.
That made Montebello the largest log building ever built in the world. Montebello has played host to some of the most important meetings of business and politics in the 20th century, including the G7 summit in 1981 with President Reagan, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
Opening night presented more surprises. 3 environments under one tent, each befitting the lifestyle of an LR3 owner.
Our hopes are certainly high for the LR3, and I think your confidence is as well.
It's awesome, and the product looks fantastic.
The night was capped by yet another WLRU TV special.
Greetings everybody from Ackergill Castle in the very north of Scotland.
A simulated live satellite feed carrying greetings from Land Rover executives.
And they're very excited by this product.
And a warm welcome to all of you in Canada.
Well, thank you, Jeff, not only for that wonderful introduction.
Welcome to all of you. Bienvenue.
The next day was down to business in the Chateau Montebello's meeting rooms and curling rinks converted to classrooms. There's a lot to learn about the LR3.
And then put this new number in test book.
With a packed curriculum, this was the longest training session ever. The LRU team created a good balance between learning and relaxing.
The best training I've ever had. It is very, very good. It always has been.
They don't just say that it's an outdoor car, they show you it's an outdoor car and they live it.
Time spent in the classroom was rewarded with time spent behind the wheel, including learning about the new electronic parking brake.
Grab the emergency brake and pull it on. It activated all 4 disc brakes, then the parking brakes, the little drums, they were activated.
It was also a chance to experience the technological wonders of the terrain response system.
You want to steer, but it's not a lot of steering.
I don't think there's any other vehicle made that can do this.
It makes everything look effortless.
Almost 1,000 people attended LRU's Aventure Nordique. Sales and service guides, parts guides, and service technicians.
It was neat going through it because I had never gone through rocks before.
Very good.
What is that? A skateboard? Oh no.
I'm an aggressive, conquering accomplisher.
Of course, getting the word out is vitally important. For LR3, our initial marketing plan took a bold approach with 6 teaser spots.
This is just weird.
The AQ spots compelled thousands of people to visit our website to discover what it was all about.
I'm an outward inspirational seeker.
Following the debut of the LR3 on the internet, the launch excitement continued with accolades from the automotive press.
One vehicle whose innovative, easy-to-use technology could take you from Rodeo Drive to the Rubicon Trail with a twist of a knob. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Motor Trend's 2005 Sport Utility of the Year, the Land Rover LR3.
On hand to accept the award, Mike O'Driscoll.
This really is a significant vehicle for Land Rover. It's the start, it's the leading edge of our determination, our drive to make Land Rover the very best.
The LR3 also left the Texas auto writers in awe.
I was more impressed with this vehicle than I have been impressed with any vehicle I have driven. We were driving through bogs, we were driving up rocks, we were driving almost straight down. It was phenomenal.
To date, LR3 has captured over 20 awards around the world. These third-party endorsements are second only to owner testimonials in terms of influencing buyers. What a great start to LR3's launch. ...2004 was another record year for Range Rover. To showcase this premium vehicle, we invited a select group of owners and prospects to attend the Range Rover experience. The aim was to immerse them into the Range Rover lifestyle.
Hold it right there.
This event at the US Equestrian Center in Gladstone, New Jersey, offered an opportunity to learn about the brand and to explore new and interesting topics.
Today's a great day. Let's go out and see. Let's see really what this car can do.
First up, an on-road drive with our legendary team of driving instructors.
If you pull the shifter over towards you, it'll put it in sport mode. What you're going to feel is the transmission's going to shift more aggressively.
Although there are several components, off-roading is the core of the day's activities. Most people have not pursued off-roading as a hobby and have little experience in this environment. They find the vehicle's capabilities to be astounding.
What we want to be is in position when we get to our obstacle so that it doesn't force us to have to back up. We'll walk up slowly and smoothly.
Of all the experiences of the day, this is the one they're most likely to remember and tell their friends about.
I've certainly never driven anything like this before.
And that's the whole idea. Our products have a rich heritage that attracts people who are interested in highly engaging lifestyles.
I always think of like Africa or something when you think of Land Rovers, so I know what it's capable of.
I didn't know what to expect, actually, and after what I've experienced, I'm a fan. I'm in love.
I was surprised at how much I enjoyed off-roading. I've never done that.
Amazing. Basically, when I bought the car, all I bought it for was the looks and the name. Now, I can see what it really does, and I'm very excited I bought the car now.
An important aspect of the Range Rover experience is the immersion into topics that are appealing or complementary to attendees' lifestyles.
Range Rovers are about luxury and adventure, and so is the Orchid. You're going to receive a plant that has nice, healthy green leaves.
Guests will often learn about something they've never considered before. This helps make the event that much more memorable and distinctive.
It was kind of a perfect fit as far as what was chosen to couple with Land Rover.
We're going to each sample a chocolate, so just remember in your mind which flavor sounds most appealing.
We're a letterpress printer and card maker, and we also carry fine papers from around the world. I think it's a good fit for the Range Rover lifestyle, just because people who are interested in that kind of a vehicle are also interested in quality and longevity and craftsmanship.
Now lift it up. There you go. Your very own wax seal.
It's a romance. Automobiles, stationery, watches. They are people who like quality in what they buy.
Town and Country and the stationery, all of that was something I knew I enjoyed. But as far as Smith & Hawken, kind of opened my eyes up to a whole other world.
Over 3,000 people attended the Range Rover experience in 2004, and the results have been everything we could hope for. The Range Rover experience is a highly successful program which will continue with events in select locations later this year. It's time to check in on the Longitude expedition, our team of explorers driving around the world to raise money for Parkinson's research. In November 2003, the team left Land Rover's California headquarters and headed south through Central and South America. They're driving 4 Discoveries that have been in fleet service before being reconditioned under Land Rover's certified pre-owned program. The Land Rover CPO team is proud to be part of this humanitarian adventure that will ultimately cross 34 countries and cover 32,000 miles. The team has since made its way to Australia, driving across vast distances and honing everyone's navigation skills. After a trip aboard a freighter, the expedition vehicles and trekkers arrived in Singapore. First order of business for Larry Rosinski and the team was to visit the National Neuroscience Institute to compare notes and exchange ideas with local physicians and Parkinson's patients who are members of the Singapore Parkinson's Disease Society. They gave encouragement to their fellow Parkinson warriors while gaining valuable insight as to how the battle against this terrible disease is being waged in this part of the world.
You do see how the mission is sort of accomplishing along the way, building bridges, connecting people, connecting organizations in a way that I think Parkinson's has never really benefited from.
Larry was pleased to bring journalists on the expedition to help communicate the need for further research and to document the team's successes. The expedition then took its course and began the long trek through Asia on its way to Siberia. Along the way, the team met with Ahsan Sawar, manager of the Land Rover dealership in Islamabad, Pakistan, the last stop before crossing the Kanjurab Pass, the world's highest road.
The Discovery's performed admirably. All-terrain ABS, traction control, all work together to create a very safe, secure environment, a really fitting reminder of why Land Rovers were the appropriate choice for an expedition of this type.
In Kunming, China, the expedition took time to raise awareness and interest in Parkinson's while making a stop at the local Land Rover retailer. Then it was a drive through Kazakhstan and on to Russia's Siberia. This vast land brought its own set of challenges, including temperatures more than 40 degrees below zero and relatively few gas stations.
Usually we stretch this thing out, but it doesn't stretch right now. It's stiff as a board. It's freezing.
The drive continued in a place where winter stays for 10 months of the year. The locals take this in stride, wearing lots of fur to keep warm. Then the expedition crew faced a spine-chilling challenge, crossing a deep river at a time of year when ferry service had stopped and icebreakers had yet to arrive.
I'm a little nervous. The ice as we're moving and walking around is actually making noise underneath us. It's a little disheartening, the thought that we're actually going to drive our vehicles across to the other side.
But there was a mission to accomplish. The crew pushed on, knowing there'll be people who would be grateful for any help they could receive regarding Parkinson's disease.
As we travel different places, different things would come up. The receptionist found out we were driving for Parkinson's. She stopped us because her mother has been suffering from Parkinson's for the last 8 years. And so she asked me about medication and stuff like that. And I will hook her up with different sites in the United States to answer some more of her questions. And then I got more biographical data from her.
After rolling into Land Rover Autoland Siberia in Novosibirsk, the Discoveries received a thorough checkup. Later on, it was the team's turn to be looked after by way of a spiritual blessing offered by a reindeer farmer. This tradition in smoke is meant to provide protection for the crew. Not a bad idea as they push on to the final leg of the expedition's Siberian traverse, a 4-day, 2,400-kilometer drive on the Road of Bones to Megadon. Once home to a prison camp for almost 50 years, today Megadon is populated with fur traders and a port that will link the team with Alaska and the final part of their journey. We'll update the expedition's final passage next time.
Just a great way of thinking while you're out there is as slow as possible, as fast as necessary.
2004 marked the opening of the Land Rover Experience Driving School at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. With its renowned heritage, this property is a perfect fit with the Land Rover brand. The Biltmore Estate is nestled in the southern Appalachian Mountains, a location favored for its attractive climate and mineral springs. It was the home of George Vanderbilt, a man who preferred world travel to managing the fortunes of the famous Vanderbilt family. Biltmore House was constructed over a 6-year period during the 1890s and modeled after the great manors of Europe. Mr. Vanderbilt chose renowned architect William Morris Hunt and landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted to mastermind his vision. The interiors were the inspiration of European masterpieces and fitted with the most modern conveniences of the time: central heating, electricity, fire alarms, refrigeration, and elevators. Today, Biltmore Estate is a fascinating destination for discriminating explorers. It offers accommodations, a winery, and activities to promote a healthy lifestyle. What better place for our driving school?
As we move back, the next angle we want to look at is known as our ramp breakover angle.
The Land Rover driving experience utilizes 2 courses at Biltmore Estate on over 4,000 acres. Whichever course is driven, there's simply no end to the level of challenge or beauty offered. It's a great opportunity to drive our exceptional vehicles in this exceptional setting. Since last summer, over 1,200 people have participated in our newest driving school. And those aren't just locals. People from as far away as Washington State, California, and Utah have enrolled.
Excellent. Off that brake.
There's also been strong participation from corporate groups who recognize the team-building benefits our program can offer. What a great choice.
Gentle and steady. We don't want water up over the hood.
So what's next for the driving experience? We're hard at work on a new event called the Land Rover Off-Road Challenge. Current plans are for teams of 2, including 1 owner, to bring their Land Rover to Biltmore Estate and participate in a trek-like competition. The focus will be on orienteering, navigation, and of course, driving skills. The participants will compete for the Biltmore Cup and all of the bragging rights that come with it. Stay tuned. Information will be posted in the Adventures section of LandRoverUSA.com soon. Now here's something really cool. For every new model launch, Land Rover either does a rolling chassis or a cutaway vehicle, and this is the cutaway of the LR3, and as you can see, it's really quite spectacular. We've got people here who are clambering all over it, literally learning this vehicle from the inside out, the anatomy of Land Rover. It's going to be a great selling tool when they get back to their stores. Now let's take a quick break as we make some short stops across country. The Land Rover 3D experience plays a vital role in building owner loyalty and spreading positive word of mouth about our products. So this year we'll see an expanded number of driving and lifestyle events. In May, the all-new Range Rover Sport will be showcased in the Land Rover Adventure to help generate buzz about the vehicle before it arrives in showrooms. And for the 3rd year running, the Range Rover Experience will hold events at select locations. The Choice of Experts Tour begins in August and will continue through the fall. Lastly, plans are in place for the opening of a new Land Rover Experience driving school. A location has yet to be finalized, but we'll let you know as soon as one is determined. Now, how does an owner make the most well-traveled vehicle on Earth distinctly theirs? With Land Rover Vehicle Kit, of course. This year we'll have more kit opportunities as well as vehicle options for you and your customers than ever before, including DVD rear entertainment and hands-free Bluetooth cell phone technology. First, the 2006 Range Rover will receive 17 new or restyled kit items in time for its June 1st launch. Later that month, we'll see the debut of Range Rover Sports line of kit. Its wide selection of merchandise will largely mirror that offered for LR3. We'll be applying past inventory management lessons to both new launches, so don't hesitate to order your kits soon. So 2004 was a great year for Land Rover and for LR3 in particular. Over 20 awards won worldwide to date. Stay tuned for more.